Welcome to Cocktails Over Coffee, a podcast that spotlights truly inspiring individuals that have taken a leap of faith by leaving their corporate careers, otherwise known as their coffee, to pursue their passion, otherwise known as their cocktail. I'm Junaid Green, and I'm so excited to be here today with world traveler, digital nomad, expat, all things travel, and one of my good friends, Uchenna. So, Uchenna, tell us what this experience. So you left your job over a year ago, right?
Yeah. Correct.
And you went to go do something that many people dream about. So I'm excited to talk about the process of how you even did that. So let's talk about what you were doing first. What was your corporate job?
So my corporate job was working at NBC Telemundo. Solely, like, most of my time was stationed on this Telemundo brand product. And I worked in advertising, so I worked on a partnership team, doing everything from digital, out of home, omni-channel marketing, pretty much.
Okay.
And I worked on like big ticket events like the World Cup and the FIFA Premier League, to the Latin AMAs, and a lot of like cultured Latino-based content and events to really connect with the audience and help bridge the gap between brands and actual the customers, the consumers.
Okay, cool. And so how long what were you doing right out of school? How long were you with NBC? Was that wasn't your first job, was it?
Nah, it wasn't my first job. So I was with NBC for about I would say like 4 years.
Okay, that's a good run, especially in New York. You know, people like to job hop.
100%, especially in New York, and that's like the thing in New York. I was like, you know what? Let me make it to 5.
Yeah, the 5 is almost unrealistic for me.
Right?
3 was my max. I have a short attention span.
Hey, seriously, my mom was like, "Yo, just make it to 1 and come back." I was like,
Right.
I'm good. But I actually started out in IT, web development.
Okay.
So that's what I got my degree in. Working for a company called Participant Media. With them, just doing like a lot of like tech work. I did everything from like fix all the computers, run a database, pretty much a database admin, to on a take action platform, which was a platform for people to, like, if you watch Lincoln, The Help, Booting, Waiting for Superman. A lot of those different documentaries and films had like a take action to it, like go out in your community and donate, blah blah blah. So I worked on the platform supporting the products that were being built out to create real change in the world. So that's like how I got my start.
Awesome. Okay. And then you shifted over to the partnerships and the more marketing at NBC.
100%. I shifted out, and from there, which was great, they actually told me, "Yo, like, you have a lot of personality. Not really a big tech guy. You're a tech guy, but we see more.
Right.
We're starting this TV company. If you like the job, we want to move you over. If you like it, you can stay. If you don't like it, you can get your old job back, same pay." I ended up loving it, and then I ended up leaving that company because I needed to become more skilled within the space of advertising and marketing. NBC, as you know, with all their different verticals and different portfolios, was the best place to just, like, basically it was like going to grad school.
Yeah.
Advertising and then pushing that further. So I left and I went to grad school and
grad school at NBC.
NBC.
The best place to graduate from. But so were you enjoying your work there? Did you like what you were doing?
At
NBC. Yeah.
Oh, NBC. At NBC, yeah, you know what? I like the different products we worked on, like the different projects I worked on. I love my clients. I love my team. I always felt like there was just something more.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm pretty sure that's, you can definitely relate with, and I felt like there was just something more. Like I love my team. I'll say it again. I love my team. I love my clients.
Yeah.
I like the product.
Yeah.
But I felt like there was something more, and I was like, you know what? I want to love all around and love what I do, and like what I'm putting in to work.
Yeah.
I want to love the whole cycle, and I call it the cycle. Like we have a cycle, like the purchase funnel cycle.
Mm-hmm.
We have the customer cycle. I want to have like my daily cycle. I want to love every part of it. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, let me look into, what can be, like, what is that thing that is missing. So that's
Yeah.
when
So
yeah.
when did you start like itching? Like you were like, I kind of want to explore something else, or I want to do something else or be somewhere else.
Yeah. So it all started. I have a really good friend. His name is Craig Bosket.
Mm-hmm.
And so it started because I have this male circle of just like it just bunch of dope African American brothers that are like super just like open and like supportive. And
Yeah.
he told me, he was like, "Yo, man, I feel like you're not even like you wear this image and you do your job, but you don't
Yeah.
like you're meant to do something bigger and better.
Mm-hmm.
I challenge you to figure that out." So like over the course of months, I was at work and I remember being in my cubicle, and I remember just like feeling lost and just out of place. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I need to do something because I wasn't motivated. I wasn't tapped in like I was before. I just felt like there was something I needed to like figure out. So I actually got a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I went ahead and went and found a therapist through my company,
Yeah.
and through that process, unpacked what was actually like, holding me up, like
That's
inside.
really important.
Yeah, so yeah, which is
That's
beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I feel like it's important to talk about because I feel like a lot of people feel the same way that you did, where you feel just unfulfilled. And it's not that
right,
you necessarily hate your job or you hate your current city or whatever your current situation is, but it's just there's something else, but you don't know how to figure that out for yourself. So
exactly.
it helps to like talk it out with someone who doesn't really know you personally, doesn't really know your backstory. It's kind of a
Mhm.
neutral party.
100%. Yeah, nah, I 100% agree. And I like to give credit to my homies because another part of it is like, I know in my community, like seeing a therapist is actually has a negative connotation attached to it.
Yeah.
So I really like, give props to my circle because they like champion me to like just go further with it. And they were like,
Right.
yo, like, and it was crazy when I brought it to their attention. They're like, yo, I have a therapist too. And I'm like,
Right.
what?
Well, it's a very
So
that's it for some reason in the black community it just has a negative connotation. It's not something that black people either do or talk about. And but
mhm,
you it's more interesting to find that there's actually a lot of black people going to therapy. They're just not talking about it.
100%. True that.
So I like that when people are open about it because then it makes it okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that's what we have to all do more of is just share more, be
Yeah.
more vulnerable and like because you don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I was super excited to go down the therapy route and
Yeah.
really do that work and figure out, okay, I needed to figure out what that next thing was for me.
Mhm.
And I did, and I came to that conclusion at work, and it was a rough one.
What was that like coming to that conclusion though? And what was the conclusion that you came to?
So um, coming to the conclusion was very uncomfortable because I lived a life of comfort, you
Mhm.
know. So like I've like NBC took really good care of me. I had a great life in New York.
Mhm.
And also I love that I would have money to just go and do things,
Right.
so the thought of me, canceling that out and not having a job and tapping into my savings and just exploring and going further with this urge to just try something new
Yeah.
was something like it was just uncomfortable. So
Yeah.
and that's when I recommend everybody, hopefully you have a good circle,
Yeah.
hopefully you have a great mentor and champions in your life, because my mentors and my champions and my best friends, like the Rafas of the world, were the ones who actually told me, yo man, like bruh, you need to tap further into that and feel 100% comfortable
Yeah.
with just trying something new. And like high risk, gets high reward. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead and like treat yourself and go and explore and figure out what's that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they said just don't think about it. Just write the letter, send it in,
Yeah.
and just have faith. Actually,
Yeah.
that's what they said.
That,
Have faith that it
yeah.
will work out. So
And I
yeah.
feel like probably similar for you, but for me, I was the same where I was very used to the secure. I mean, since graduation from college, I had
Hmm.
a corporate job, I had benefits, I had a steady
Hmm.
paycheck. I had everything was just set up for me. And
Yeah.
for some reason, I started to rebel in like my late 20s where I was like, actually, I just want to figure it out. I don't want everything to be set up. I kind of want to like not worry, but like I want to live on the edge a little bit more, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and so I think that that's kind of what, especially when people leave their job to travel, that's kind of what they're longing for.
100%. Yeah. No, I definitely agree. You said rebel.
Yeah.
Which is something that actually came to mind. Because I thought about like yeah, like rebel is a great word because to rebel against a lot of your conditioned learning. Like what
Yes. In the
that
norm, it's what
norm.
we're set up to think that this is what we have to do. I mean, that's the whole
100%.
reason I started this podcast is because people don't realize you don't actually have to do what people tell you should do.
100%. True that. Yeah, and a
There's an
lot of people.
alternative.
There's definitely an alternative. And there's a great power in just making a decision for yourself and just understanding that that's the best decision for you
Yeah.
versus you relying on somebody to make it for you. I feel
Yeah.
like you're just going to be incomplete and disappointed. So like being able to make that decision for yourself and just go out there and try new things and
Yeah.
be okay with the losses and be okay with the wins. Like I think that's just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And they call it a leap of faith for a reason because you just have to
Yeah.
jump. You just have to, like you said, make the decision. You have to just leap.
Leap. Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what did you leap into? What did you decide to go do?
So I actually didn't really have a plan. I just bought a
Perfect. I
one way
love that.
ticket. Yeah, so it was like one of those movie things, and I actually called. So I called my really good friend, and this is like my really really good friend, and I was like, you know what, I'm thinking about coming to Australia. I'm looking between Australia and Mexico City.
Okay.
I'm thinking about coming to Australia. Are you out there? She's like, yeah, I'm out there. And I was like, would you mind like me coming, pulling up, and just show me the road? I just really want to just be and explore and just see something.
Yeah, somewhere else.
Yeah, and then she was like, hell yeah, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, and then so I bought that one way ticket,
Yeah.
and I just didn't have a plan. My only plan was I would come back after 6 weeks. That was my
Okay.
plan.
That was your
Yeah,
plan.
that was my plan.
Plans
After
are funny
six
that
weeks,
way.
yeah, right. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, tell your landlord, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I just booked a one way ticket to Australia, and I just like I opened my mind to all the possibilities, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to restrain myself in the process. I'm
Yeah.
going to just tap in. So I did that, and she blessed me with the main regions of Australia. So we started in Sydney, and then
Mm-hmm.
we did a road trip to Byron Bay, and then from Byron Bay saw the Great Barrier Reef and Cairns.
Yeah.
So just did a lot of road tripping and
So
just like
nice.
learning new culture and like new cuisines and a different
Right.
way of life and learning about just like how like for me I'm a marketing advertising enthusiast, so learning about how like localized marketing goes down in
Yeah.
Australia was pretty awesome. And so like yeah, so that's like how I tapped into it, and then Bali came about just random. I wasn't supposed to go to Bali, and
Really?
yeah, yeah. I kid you not. She recommended Bali, and my best friend recommended Bali.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like Mexico, and and they were like, "Bro, you're right
No.
here. Just go to Bali." I'm
Right.
like, yeah. So yeah, Bali came about from there. Just
Just from but from recommendations. That was never well, you did mention you
yeah,
didn't have a plan. So then this makes
yeah.
sense.
Exactly. So I didn't have a plan. And another thing is, I don't know if you know, but I'm a big time surfer, so I love to
Mm-hmm.
surf. So the icing on the cake was Bali is really known for
For
great
surf.
surf,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
longboarders and whatnot. So I went to Bali to go there for 2 weeks, and I was there, open mind. Week one, I'm just roaming, having the time of my life, and I'm like, you know what? I can stretch this to 3 months. This is amazing.
Two
I'm
weeks
like,
turned into 3 months.
3 months. I'm like flowing. Just everything is working out.
Yeah,
I'm really just like around good people, and
yeah,
I'm doing stuff that I never thought that I would do that just filled me up. Like
yeah,
taking jobs without thinking about money.
yeah.
Not thinking
Wow.
about how much are you gonna pay me for this,
Right, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Like I was out there, I worked at a cafe, and I was
So
literally,
cool. In Bali, working at a cafe in
yeah,
Bali sounds like a dream.
it was the biggest dream in the world. Like I was freaking like making the best vanilla bean lattes and
Oh my
stuff to
gosh.
serving people, and like I wasn't actually getting paid for that, which was, but it was so amazing to go
Right.
into surf shops and helping them with the waxing and whatnot, to
Yeah.
working with different clothing brands. And then the most beautiful thing happened was, wasn't focused on like much. I was just focused on just the enjoyment of what I was doing and actual pride of doing that.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting a job offer, a couple, which
In
led
Bali.
to me in Bali, which
Wow.
and marketing.
Really?
So yeah, it was
Okay, so
crazy.
so then these little jobs that you took on just because they were fulfilling led to
Yeah,
legit job offers in
yes,
this foreign
sir.
country.
In this foreign country, and you want to know how it happened? Like
How?
they literally came up to me and they were like, "Yo, you're doing an amazing job," and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "No, like seriously, like our sales has grown, and like we're doing
Wow.
well. We want to take care of you, and this is all you have to do." So the added thing, the only thing I had to do outside of what I was originally doing
Yeah.
was to really just have these weekly meetings with the team to
Mm-hmm.
discuss like marketing strategies and stuff, which was
Okay.
cool. And
Right.
so from there, I ended up just using that as a stepping stone to tap into much more.
So do you consider yourself an expat? That's what you were, essentially, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that what
yeah,
people called you over
100%.
there? Like,
Oh,
people
over
use that
there,
term, so
yeah, don't call me expat. Don't call me New York, New York. Don't
yeah.
call me like all kind of stuff, like cool stuff, and yeah, but I consider myself an expat, just a
Yeah.
nomad,
A
like
digital nomad.
yeah,
Okay. So then
yeah.
what is life and working like for an expat in Bali? Could you legally work? Did you have to have some sort of a visa?
That's a great question. Honestly, so you can do it multiple ways. You can have a visa and do it legit
Okay.
and work for a corporation, but they have to be willing to pay for your visa. A lot of
Okay.
corporations are
Okay.
not willing to do that.
Right.
So you can do that and work for a corporation, have them pay for your visa, or you can work for a corporation, just pay for your own visa. So
Mm-hmm.
there's two options. The third option is you can actually work for another company in Australia, Singapore, the US, and just work remotely as a web developer or social media
Mm-hmm.
manager and much more. And then
Okay.
you can just find good Wi-Fi and you can work there and navigate.
Okay.
Other option is a lot of people who came from like all over to start a business there, from a fashion, which is pretty common. You have the
Yeah.
linen fashion Bali clothing that
Yeah.
like doesn't retract too much sweat.
So, yeah, yeah, yeah. The breathable.
The breathable
Yeah.
mesh material, which is dope. So you have
Yeah.
those brands who really invest and they tap in that way. For me, it was pretty good. It's pretty flexible, like because Bali has like these co-hosting workspaces, which are pretty
Very
common
cool.
now in LA.
Yeah.
But like you can go somewhere. and just like you can have an office, you can have like you can actually have printing, you can print your stuff out.
Nice.
You can hold
Do you have to have a
meetings.
membership or do you have to pay for these
You have to have
spaces?
a membership, and it's
Okay.
really cheap. It's really really cheap,
So
and
not like
it's
Soho House here.
nah, like Soho House is another beast.
Wild.
That's funny you mentioned that because I'm pretty sure the amount you would pay for Soho House for 1 or 2 months would pay for like probably half a year, or no, actually probably a year of a membership at this location.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah,
putting into
so
perspective. That makes me feel really
yeah,
great about the money that I'm wasting.
I was I was a Soho House member too, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty wild.
So
Yeah.
you were working out of these co-working spaces, and I'm sure that's also a way that you probably met people and networked while you were there.
100%. Yeah, and for anybody going to Bali and you want to become a digital nomad, or if you want to become a what's the other term where
Expat.
you use expat, right? There's one place that I recommend you go
Okay.
to, and you'll meet all the you have to make all the connections you're going to need.
Okay, what
And
is it?
it's this place called Ammo Spa. So Ammo
Okay.
Spa is so they have like everything. Of course, a spa. They have a
Mm-hmm.
little lounge area where you can work, and you can like feast on some healthy vegan eats. In the
Mm-hmm.
back, they have this. It's called a spa circuit. So you have an ice plunge, you have a steam room, and then
Oh,
you have
wow.
this. I forgot the other room, but and they have a tanning place, wherever, right? But
Yeah.
anyway, everybody, all the expats go there.
Okay.
And you honestly, you get the membership just like Soul House. It's pretty much like Soul House. And you
Yeah.
go there and you make these connections. And I kid you not, you're always going to meet somebody in your lane, always going to meet somebody who's
I
like,
love that.
just like interested and willing to like share and like buy.
Yeah.
And from there, I actually made all my friends at Ammo House,
Really?
at Ammo Spa. I would say 90% came from Ammo, 10% came from this fitness place I worked out at.
Wow.
But Ammo Spa is a great place to just network and just like learn more quick, learn more about the culture and tap
Yeah.
into proven connections.
Did you
Yeah.
find that there were a lot of expats, a lot of people from the states? Like where are most people from? I feel like every people from all over the world go to Bali to
Yeah.
just experience
I would
Bali.
say, yeah, 100%. I would say majority are from like Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
I would say majority, but there's a lot from so Canada and use I would say the US, but the US majority come from Cali or New York.
It makes perfect sense.
It's so funny. Like every time he's like, oh, I'm from the US too. I'm like Cali or
Or New
New York.
York, right?
And they're like, oh, Brooklyn. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Interesting. I wonder why that is though, because it's like those are two really amazing cities, but people want
Yeah.
more. People want more all the
100%.
time.
People want more. Exactly. Exactly.
So then living in Bali, what was that actually like living in Bali? As in like where did you live? How did you find housing? What's that
Hmm.
process like?
Yeah.
Did you have this? You didn't have it planned before you got there, did you?
I didn't have anything planned, but
Right.
what so normally, I first of all, backpedal. I read a
Yeah.
blog, and I read a
Okay.
blog that like walked me through the process of how to choose
Smart.
your living situation. So, normally you will go to like you go to I forgot the name of this place, but it's like a hostel. So you go
Yes.
to a
Okay.
hostel,
Okay.
and hostel you would share a room with somebody and share a bathroom with. So like you'll share a room with like three other people,
Yeah.
and you share a bathroom with like probably 20, right? Cheap,
20?
like 20 people or
Okay, so
more.
it's like a college dorm.
A college dorm for the
Okay.
most part. College dorm would like just the most
The best of
amazing
the best. Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, right? And
Yes.
then you have another option where you can just go and you can like rent a room at a villa. So you can rent a
Okay.
room at a villa, you get your own bathroom, you get your own room, standard queen size bed, really nice, clean daily,
Yeah.
cool. It's nice, and it's cool. It's good. It's the
Yeah.
next level. It's affordable. Probably at least $150 a month US, which is
That was what you pay. That's the rent?
So yeah, my rent was actually probably close to like 180, 200 a month, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. And then you can step up and just get your own villa. So if you get your own villa, that's another price point. That's not too bad. And you can do
It's
that.
what, under 500?
No,
Around
no,
500?
no. Your own villa would be, I would say, um, definitely in the thousands.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you get your own villa.
You get your own villa. Your
Okay.
own villa with everything. You just have to
With the
like
pool and
you get with the pool, and I would say thousands. So you can pay like somewhere around maybe like 2,000, like 2,000 and up
okay, so New
for a
York
nice
rent.
setup. New York rent, but you get more than one room.
Okay.
You get the pool, you get it cleaned daily, and you have the luxury of just having that to yourself, and it's dope. And also
Wow.
you can sublet over there too, which is cool. So
That's
yeah,
wow.
so I actually went the route of the other option I didn't mention is you can get a villa with other people. So
Okay.
6 bedroom villa. So I did the option of having a room and
Okay.
my own bathroom when
Yes.
I first started out to meet people.
Yeah.
So I had my own space and I could just jump out and meet people and vibe. And
Yeah.
then I ended up switching to the villa shared villa
Yeah.
route. And yeah, I will switch back and forth. And another thing you probably don't know is I jumped around from country to country while I was
Okay, so
traveling.
that's what I was going to ask. When you switch back and forth, so you're not locked into any sort of a lease over there. You can,
Oh no,
it's
no,
flexible.
extremely flexible. Yeah,
Wow.
extremely flexible, and yeah, they're like you can lock in 1 month and just bounce. And a lot of people do this where they'll because you have a 30-day visa and you have a 60-day visa. So
Okay.
most people will have to leave every 30 days and come back, or
Oh,
60
I
days and come
see.
back. And so what they would normally do as a digital nomad, you would leave after 30 or 60 days and
Yeah.
you'll go to Singapore and you'll just buy another ticket back
Okay.
and you'll be home within a day. Or you'll
Wow.
have people like me who are like, you know what, if I'm going to buy a ticket, I'm going to go and explore. Like, I'm going
Right.
to actually live there for a while. So I would go and I'll be gone for like a month time. So I went to like Sri Lanka, Thailand,
Wow.
Malaysia, Singapore, Langkawi, Penang, which are like two separate islands,
Yeah.
and then a couple others. And I would just go away and I'll keep my luggage at a friend's villa. And then so by the
Okay.
time I come back, I can move into a new villa and
Yeah.
just start up paying, my rent.
So
So
Bali was like home base,
yeah,
but you went and explored other countries and cultures
exactly. Yeah.
and were you on you were doing solo travel, so you were kind of just navigating this all on your own. Did you know people at these places?
No, I didn't know anybody when I first got there. I didn't know
Wow.
anybody. And then when I traveled to other countries, I didn't know anybody except for in Thailand. My best friend met me in Thailand.
Okay.
So we met in Thailand, but outside of that, I traveled alone, and it was actually pretty. I wouldn't want to have it any other way.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because when you travel by yourself, like it's just you. Like you make the decisions.
Yeah.
You know, you meet a cool group, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, let's go north," and you're like, "There's nobody telling you, no, let's go south." Or you're like,
Yes.
like, cool, let's go north. This is a good vibe. Let's go figure something out.
Yeah.
So I actually like made some really great friends from around the world, just
Yeah.
being open minded and not having any reservations or anybody to like kind of like steer the experience.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think last summer was the first time I actually experienced solo travel, especially in
Yeah.
another country, and I love it.
Okay.
I went to Berlin. I went
Oh,
to Copenhagen. I
okay.
went to Stockholm.
Nice. Those are
Um,
all on my list.
I was supposed to go to what's it called? Croatia, Dubrovnik. But I missed my flight, and on those budget airlines over there, they don't just rebook you on the next flight. You have to book a whole new trip. And So it would have cost me more to rebook my entire trip, and I was already at like Charles de Gaulle Airport. Like I was just a mess, and it was all because I overslept. And so I didn't go to Croatia. I'm still a little bitter about it. So that's top of my list. And then I did Spain. I did Barcelona, Madrid, and Ibiza.
Wow.
And then I went a couple places in like the south of France. And then I did Amsterdam and Belgium, Brussels.
Really?
Yeah.
Should I be interviewing you?
No,
You got everything.
no, but it's so easy to get there, especially from Paris. It's just like the flights are like $25 or 25 euros.
Ridiculous. Oh
Yeah. So that was one, that was my whole thing is that I wanted to be able to not only go over there and experience France and Parisian culture, but I wanted to explore Europe and go as many places as I could.
hmm
And I did those Euro trains. Let me tell you, that is the best and the worst way to experience Europe.
The best and the worst. What do you mean?
Yeah, because you experience, you really do. You're traveling with locals. You're traveling with tourists. But then you also, so like there's just it's just so different than things here. So I was going to Berlin and I'm taking all these trains and you're connecting, and then I get to this one platform and it says, I don't even know what the word is, but basically it's German for canceled. And I'm looking at the sign and this guy sees me looking at the sign just confused, and he's like, I think it was teat or something like that. And he's like, means canceled. And I was like, so what do we do? He's like, and so I was like, so they don't rebook me? Like, what am I, we're here in Germany in the middle of nowhere. Like, what am I supposed to do? So you learn a lot when you're traveling. It's different than here. And you have to navigate a lot on your own. I also did the sleeper trains where I'm like sleeping overnight on a train to Sweden. Yeah, that was interesting.
That's a vibe.
I won't do it again. Promise you that I will not do it again. But it's you learn a lot when you're traveling, especially solo, because you're only relying on yourself. But like you mentioned, that's the best thing with solo travel is that you're strictly relying on what you want to do, your schedule. If I do or don't want to do, like when I was in Berlin, I went to all of these like touristy places, and then I was just like, this is so depressing. I mean, I'm sorry for anyone that loves Berlin, but it's a bit depressing when you go to like, you see like the all the stuff of the Holocaust, and then there's like a memorial of like slain Jews. It's just a lot to take in. So then afterwards I was like, you know what? I want to go get some ice cream to like lift my mood. So it's like you just do what you want to do, and I don't have to ask anybody else what they want to do. So I agree with you. I think solo travel is really important if you can, for anyone to do.
100% agree. Everybody should do it at least one time in their life.
Yeah, but I think it's obviously you do. It takes a certain person though, because you have to have a certain amount of street smarts and
True.
you just being aware, and just you just have to be very, very aware. And I think that with tourists, it's easy for you to look like a tourist. And so my whole goal when I was in Europe is just to not appear to be a tourist. I didn't go to any of, like, I asked all my local friends, I was like, when can I go to the museums where the tourists aren't there? Like, I hated being around tourists. So I really wanted the local experience.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best. Exactly.
Yeah.
To like experience it like a local, like somebody who was born and raised there.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. Like, I didn't never want to look like a tourist because it just attracts the wrong energy.
It definitely does. It definitely does. And the thing is that people can tell you're American anyway, but if you blend in a bit more, or you seem like you kind of know what you're doing, no one's going to try to take advantage of you or
Exactly.
I don't know. So, okay, so you did all this traveling. How long were you actually over there?
I would say probably like 10 months, 11 months, something like that.
And you were not planning to be there that long?
I kid you not, I was only planning to be there 6 weeks, and then
wow.
And it just became more of a reality as I was just in it, and
yeah.
my day. which was great, and I know myself, if I didn't like my friend likes to mention, he was like, yo, from this book about the art of war or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned something about like the point of no return or something like that. Like when you book a one-way ticket and you're just in it and you just have to figure it out,
Yeah.
you're more likely to just explore and like come across things that excite you, and you figure shit out,
Yeah.
and you go from there. So for me, I honestly, at one point I was like, you know what, I don't have anything to go back to,
Yep.
like, so let's just figure this life out. Let's figure out, like, let's look at that dream life, that world I want,
Yeah. Yeah.
and see if I can make it happen, And
Yeah.
so, he brought something up. He was like, "Yo, man, just remember this part of your life and understand that you got so many more years, and remember that you are going to be very disappointed if you don't take advantage of this moment." So
Yes.
it's just
Absolutely. So you initially you kind of went over there because you were feeling unfulfilled in your current situation.
Mhm.
Did you find what you were looking for while you were over there? Are you still kind of looking for it? Do you feel more fulfilled than you did before you left?
Yeah, I feel way more fulfilled, and I would say I found what I was looking for. I would say that. Yeah.
Okay.
And the reason why I kind of hesitated on
Yeah.
it is because it took me a while to think about that, because I never thought about if I know I was looking for something, and I never thought about like if I found it,
Yeah.
because I was in it,
You were
and
just being present.
I was just being present, and like and I think that was so beautiful for me,
Mm-hmm.
because the more I think, is it's kind of like it the more I think, the less I'm actually able to appreciate and do,
Yeah.
because I'm too busy thinking about it versus living. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I would say the thing I was looking for and the thing I found is I've refound my glow of like what, like, which ties into my truth, my
Mm-hmm.
purpose, my why, and all
Yeah.
that. And yeah, and I did it in a great way, and like that's why I'm like super hyped and happy, and shifting gears a little bit from
Yeah.
my past life, or what I was doing. Not past life, but my past
Yeah.
role and opportunity at my previous employer.
Right.
Yeah.
So then what's the shift been like? But before we talk about the shift, let's talk about coming back, because the world kind of took a turn while you were still over there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
when did you actually come back to the States, and how was that process coming back during a pandemic?
Yeah. I came back in like May, I believe. I came back
Okay.
in May, and it was rough because I was actually in Sri Lanka when COVID hit. And
Wow.
one, I didn't know the magnitude of it
Yeah.
until two things happened. The first
Okay.
one, I was Instagramming and showing like stuff, right? And I
Right.
had people in LA like, "Yo, what are you doing with no mask on?"
Why are you
And I'm
out?
yeah, why are you
We're
out,
all in our homes.
right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm in Sri Lanka. It's different,
Yeah.
And then so, and then two, my friend from Bali hit me up, and he said, "Yo, they're getting ready to close the borders for Sri Lanka because COVID is about to hit it hard, because India had a high count, so
Yes. Right.
they were about to shut it down. So he told me leave like ASAP. And I said, "Yo, I have another week here." He's like, "Leave." So I ended up like going to the airport the next morning, and as
Yeah.
soon as I left, they closed the borders.
No
Uh,
way.
so if I didn't leave, I would have been stuck in Sri Lanka until who knows when. So
Wow.
I hustle up, gather my things, get a ticket, a secure ticket back to the States. As soon as I get back, I actually called the CDC and got
Okay.
the insight on what I should do and the 2 week quarantine. So as soon as I got back, I was actually in a 2 week traditional setup, like lockdown in a
Wow.
room. Didn't leave it for 2 weeks. I luckily had like the bare minimum, had a refrigerator,
Yeah.
bed, bathroom, and there was a treadmill in there, which was pretty cool.
So
So
you can stay kind of active.
stay kind of active.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was pretty like interesting just going through that process because you really like it was a nice transition for me to actually appreciate the magnitude of COVID. And like
Yeah.
when I say appreciate it from the perspective of actually like respect, the
Mm-hmm.
protocol, what I should be doing as far as sanitizing, wearing a
Right.
mask, because I went from a free lifestyle in Sri Lanka to
Yeah.
back to the States. So that whole process was just like it was great for me just to learn and really reflect and be in solitude.
Yeah. Do you still keep in touch with people that are over there or still kind of doing this digital nomad lifestyle during the pandemic?
Yeah, I talk to them all the time. Yeah, I keep
What's that life like? A current digital nomad
yeah.
during a pandemic?
During the pandemic, it's cool. You know what? You know why it's cool is
Why?
because um, it actually like you have to be more creative. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be like and I know like during this period of time, you have so many things trying to pull you down.
Yeah.
You know, from like actually doing more. And I feel
Yeah.
like this is the time to actually tap in and do more and just like try to like, maybe like start a business,
Yeah.
maybe it's like to start a new product, line, or maybe it's to just like go ahead and explore this like passion of yours. So for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's been pretty amazing because I I I've been finding a lot of people. I found a lot of people who are in the same world as me
Yeah.
and they just want to do more and they want to like just like do shit for free but do
Yeah.
shit not I want to say do shit for free but do shit because it excites them
Do
you know
yes, that fulfills you.
yeah it fulfills you
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
so I it's been great. I actually have a passion project I'm doing this Friday with a
Awesome.
cousin of mine and I found out that he has this dream that aligns with one of my dreams and we
Yeah.
decided to just do it together. And that shit
Amazing.
is amazing to me. So yeah, so it's been pretty great to answer your question. And I'm just
Yeah.
like happy. I'm extremely happy with, the possibilities.
Yeah, I mean, that's really exciting. I think that's kind of when I was asking if you found what you were looking for, it sounds like you have because you know what you will and won't do. All of your work is intentional and it's
Mhm.
things that actually excite you and you
Exactly.
can't really attach a dollar amount to that. There's no need
True.
to. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Very, 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 very true. Seriously, and you said like the things you will do and things you won't do,
Yeah.
things that excite you and the things that don't.
Yeah.
And I know that clearly more than ever. And it all goes back to this is a very Bali term my homies like to laugh at me about, but
Yeah.
energy is real. Like
Yeah.
energy is real, and like one of my favorite books, the Celestian Prophecies, and it
Mhm.
talks about the transfer of energy. Like you have to like protect your shit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
look at it as like, look, like don't give your energy to people who are not worth having it,
Yeah.
who are just going to like say you give them 70 and they give you 10. You're deficient and it should
Right.
just not work out. So like
Right.
remember your energy and use that as a,
Yes.
just as a like a little I would say benchmark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you ever go do the digital nomad expat lifestyle again? And if you did, where would you go?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'll do it on a different scale, but I would do it and I would go to Mexico.
In Mexico? Because you still didn't get it to Mexico, did you?
Bro, I didn't get to
Okay.
Mexico, and it's definitely like
Man.
I love Mexico, so I really want to go to Mexico. I just feel like it's like growing up I'm from LA, and the
Yeah.
reason why I love Mexico so much is because my community is like Mexicans and African Americans,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And we were like just one, like there really wasn't any like color. It's just like, yo, we're
Yeah.
just all family. So I grew up on just Mexican culture, cuisine, the whole nine. So
Okay.
me growing up, like I always had a goal to just live there,
Go spend
and
time in
just
Mexico.
spend time there,
Yeah.
and so I'm looking forward to that, and I would definitely make that shift to Mexico and try this digital nomad life out.
Okay. Finally, you got to check Mexico off your box.
Oh, 100%. I'm definitely gonna do that.
So I like to wrap up every show with what I call a shot, which is something small and something strong and powerful that you want to pass on. And it can be a piece of advice for people that want to go travel the world, or it can just be something that you want to share with people who want to pursue their passion, but they're stuck in a corporate job or whatnot. What shot do you want to pass on?
Wow, that is freaking profound. Like, wow, I'm like circulating through my mind. I would say this. I would say that you have to love yourself. And you have to understand that no matter what you want to do, no matter like what is in your heart, you know, you can do anything. And it sounds kind of cliche, but I really believe that we got all the tools we need. We just need to tap in.
Yeah.
You know? And I want to pass that along to remember that you have all the tools you need. You just need to tap in and be super confident in yourself, love yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the brand, you are the product, and invest in yourself. So I would say that.
I love that. Absolutely.
With no salt.
Mezcal with no salt. That did feel like that was a little bit of tequila. I felt that. I felt the smoke from that.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. This has been, you're making me, now I have the travel bug, which is really the problem with this time.
Yeah.
So we can't go anywhere.
Hey, you can't go anywhere, but you know, I feel like everybody's in Tulum right now, but that's just me.
Everybody's in Tulum. And that's part of the reason I don't want to, I told you how I feel about tourists. That's part of the reason I don't want to go.
Yeah, hey, I'm right there. I'm not going to Tulum. I'm just
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can get past this thing so we can start traveling again and living the digital nomad lifestyle.
Agree. I can't wait.
Thank you so much for your time, and stay safe out there. Stay productive. Keep doing what makes you happy.
You too. Thank you. Appreciate you.